I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say, YSG, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Rayzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Rayzilla, fire, monster.
Hey, big shout out guys to Mr. JR Star 3 for the raid of 30. Welcome everybody and get ready for an exciting show. We have a huge panel for you guys today. We got a little bit of surprise that we're going to show you that we've been working on with the nights. So get ready, get your popcorn, get your drinks, and let's get ready for the show.
I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out. Call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top. I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop. I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this. Let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa. Your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie. I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes. I've been deadly. I've been known to kill a synth. I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Rayzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Rayzilla, fire, monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Tiz. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla App, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Rayzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stress, trying to roll substats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click. Like a lab rat is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get it pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the menace here to dominate, I'm greatest ever nominate. I'm getting inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate. I'm cutting him again, my lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing rate afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm Amityville, I'm a killer, you need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed of killing any infinity. Motherfucker, you better run it, you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch, I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with Dutchess invisible, I'm inexplicable, I'm unequivocal, I'm unforgivable, I'm fucking biblical, an orange criminal. You never catch him digital, they got our radar roller. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shots to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murdering king with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jetson. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out.
Hey chat, we got two special guests today. Can you guys find out who they are or give us a couple of guesses?
Community, we keep it strong. Valerian back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster, you can call us Raid-Zillas. Sacreds, I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say YST, you've got a cold heart. Yo Smiley, come on, bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid-Zilla5, spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid-Zilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit wake with a clickbait, got paid, I made I raid viz. Glow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shard 2X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I'd be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid-Zilla5, spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid-Zilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those that spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Tez. He did it first though without a bug, man he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla App, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raid-Zilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stress, trying to roll subs fast. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click. Like a lab rat is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the minister to dominate him, greatest ever nominate him. Get inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate him. Cutting him again, my lyrics gonna blade him. With the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him. And I make anybody who playing raid afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it. But they're gonna spin it anyway, cause y'all beginning to see that I'm a villain, I'm a killer. You need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed of killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run it, you finna be dead like free to play in silver. 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with Dutch, invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. The god I radar ruler. Man, stop.
Easy.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, two Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jensen. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Valerian back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raidzillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say YST, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit wake with a clickbait, got paid, I made, I raid viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shark 2X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hand like Victor Tez. He did it first though without a bug, man he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla at, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raidzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one mass bench stress, trying to roll sub stats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the menace, here to dominate, I'm greatest ever nominate. I'm getting inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate. I'm cutting him, I get my lips gonna blade him with a skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing raid afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm Amityville, I'm a killer. You need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed of killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you fit to be dead like free to play and silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with edges invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. The god I rate a ruler. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Told me got you frozen.
What is going on, everybody? BLAZIN here. Welcome back to another Knights of Teleria podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us. Guys, we've got a big show for you today. We have some special guests on the channel today. And you know, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to start introducing because we've already started a little bit late. But to my right over here, you're going to see Mr. MTG Jedi, his first time on the podcast and on the channel. Jedi, how are you, sir? All right, take that one more time because apparently my audio was muted. So, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm pretty excited to be here. I love doing stuff like this. Thanks so much for having me, man.
All right, appreciate you coming, brother. Appreciate you coming. Right next to him, we have Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, how are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Always an honor to be here. Love to have all these great content creators with us as well, you know, to do this podcast, and just been basically grinding people's accounts.
Nice. Oh, music's still on. Okay, let me fix that real quick.
I'm professional.
Yeah, right. I tried fixing a couple of things here, but all right, that should have fixed it. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, and right next to him, we have Mr. Storm Gaming. Storm, how are you doing, brother?
Good, I'm good. Thank you for having me. Not so much a content creator, but your local neighborhood degenerate gambler.
Isn't that what we all are with Raid, right? Isn't that it?
Absolutely.
All right, in the top little red square, we have the ultimate free-to-play guru, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, how's it going, brother?
Doing good, man. Got a little bit trip there today. I sent a picture. Maybe you can show.
Oh, yes, yes.
Excited on the show?
I was trying to take a look at those while I was setting everything up. Let's see here. Ken, and what did we get? Open. It's not any, okay. I was worried it might be a little bit, you know, some hammers and stuff like that. Nice.
Ooh, you outside?
You're getting sunlight? That's interesting. That's interesting.
On what?
Some sunlight?
Oh, yeah. I didn't find the grass, but I touched some little weird stuff.
Nice. Nice.
That's not snow, by the way, guys.
Ooh,
oh, yeah,
where is
like
this?
Antique cities, yeah. There's an antique trader on my city, actually.
Wow.
So I decided to go there. It's been a long time I didn't go, so.
Wow, very nice.
That
very
white
nice.
stuff you saw earlier actually made it from, it's a mountain. It's like a natural smile made like that, so it's like natural hot tub there, so. That
Wow.
was
Nice.
yes.
All right.
Nice. That's awesome.
This kind of gives me like a gladiator feel, you know, maybe
Yeah,
like a
it is.
theater.
It's like
nice.
ancient Roman time, I think,
Nice.
if I'm not
nice.
mistaken.
All right. In the blue box, we have Mr. Gestal Gaming. Gestal, how are you doing, brother? Any incredible, crazy sharp pulls you want to share with us?
No sharp pulls. Free to play got Shamel this weekend and a Seeker, so it's pretty big for free to play. But I didn't pull anything on the main. Just been hitting Live Arena, trying to move up the ranks. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Live Arena has been the bane of my existence right now. I've had to do the.
I love it.
I had to do that whole what's it called? The quest for Marius, where I had to have like zeal. Oh man, it was such a pain. Such a pain.
That's where I'm stuck right now too.
You gotta equip them with like a 4-piece zeal, and it's like, really? Come on, I like sold everything off. All right, somewhere in a far, far galaxy away, in that jet speeder right there, we've got Mr. Brunt Cat Herder. And guys, for the longest time, I used to call him Brunt catheter, and I am so sorry. But Mr. Brunt Cat Herder, what's going on, brother?
Oh, not too much. It's been a fun weekend. It's fun as always. Glad to be here. Looking forward to this.
Awesome. All right, and on the box right underneath that, the little green box right there, we've got Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what's going on, my man? How are you doing?
Doing amazing. Just been grinding live, going through Gold 3, trying to be Gold 4 soon-ish, and yeah, good weekend, and happy to be here with all you guys. Thanks for having me.
Very nice. All right, so as always, we got to ask a creator question of the week. You know, give some feedback, or not feedback, but give some connection between the creator and the community, right? And we like to share something just a little bit about ourselves. So I think we all decided that we're going to share what our favorite board game is. And we're going to go ahead and start with, let's go with Gestal first.
Yes, no one's gonna take it. Mousetrap. Mousetrap was the greatest game ever made, board game ever made. Now, I honestly can't say I even ever played it. I think I only tried to build it. I tried to build it to make sure, build the whole thing up and then have it all go down properly. I don't know. I was a kid, man. We were just.
I'm not really big fan of the board game, man. Not gonna lie.
No Tavli, no.
I mean, on my childhood, we was buying the potato chips, and inside there was little plastic Pokemon something coming. We call them Tasso, but I don't know what you guys call them.
Okay.
So we was putting them top to top, and we was trying to flip them. If you flip, you won. If the enemy flip, he won, and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, actually. I don't know. That's a board game, probably not, but yeah.
Okay. Brunt, what about you, my man?
Well, I spent probably 25 years every Saturday playing board games with friends of mine and my family, and it's been a long tradition with them. I grew up on games like Empire Builder and some of the rail games where you build and you connect and you go across different continents. Probably my all-time favorite, though, is a Euro-style board game called Power Grid, which is a very in-depth game where you basically build a power grid on a map and you buy power plants, and the different power plants need different types of power, and it's very simplistic as far as the rules is actually maybe 1 or 2 pages worth of rules, but there's a lot of deep strategy with it and a lot of different variations with it as well, and so it's a lot of fun. And they just released 3 years ago, a revised version of it that's out there, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes the Euro style board games if you're looking for something that's not Monopoly type stuff.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Okay, so to be fair to Gestal, I looked up Mousetrap. I heard of it, but yeah, it looks like half the game was just setting this thing up, or at least half the fun.
It was.
The point.
It's back in the 80s, bro. It's back in the 80s.
Okay, so fair enough. I was a big fan of Clue, but also a game called Stratego. I'm not sure you guys know that game.
Okay. All right.
I liked that growing up a lot too.
Okay. Stratego. Storm, what about you, my man? What you got?
I don't really do board games, but I don't know. I think I played one once. It was Scrabble, I think, with the words and all.
Okay.
That's about it.
Scrabble. Okay. All right. Let's go next to Mr. Jedi. Hit me.
Dude.
What do we got?
Such a big fan of the board games. I have too many to count. Yesterday we were playing Frosthaven, which I'm going to just go with as my pick because it's my favorite at the moment. And that is sort of like Dungeons and Dragons strategic board game where you get to level up your character and experience the story. But yeah, way too many board games to count. I'm really excited. Actually, I'm going out to Origins Game Fair here in about a month or so, and that's one of the biggest board gaming conventions in the world. So, pretty excited to do that.
That's the sequel to Gloomhaven, right?
Yeah, it is the sequel to Gloomhaven. Yeah.
This looks cool. I'm looking it up on Amazon.
Go ahead. No, continue.
MTG and I have to have a conversation about board games some other time.
Yeah, we do. I literally wrote that down. I was like, remind me to talk to Braun about board games. Yeah, absolutely. Frosthaven, expensive. Very expensive, but worth it. There's like 150 missions in it or so.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
I feel like one of these days we got to do something like a Magic the Gathering meets Raid Shadow Legends kind of thing.
Sure.
I think that would be a lot of fun to have. I'm no lore master. I've honestly never even played Magic, but I think we can get something done.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right. PJ, you were going to say something, brother.
Nah, I don't know if this is like a typo or something, but it says on Amazon the minimum age recommendation is 168. But then it says down below age is 14 plus, but
I think that's in months.
maybe. I don't know. I was like, geez, you need some knowledge to play this game.
Yeah, I think that might be that might be a little bit of a problem there.
Maybe it's 16. That's funny.
All right, Jay, what you got for me, man?
When I was younger, I did play a lot of board games as well. One of my favorite ones was the Pokemon Adventure one. It's basically like Red and Blue. Like you move your character, try to get to Elite Four, capture Pokemon, and then you fight each other, find out who's the best. But I'm actually into a lot of deck building games where you pick cards from a deck and build your own decks, and then you fight other people. There's not really too much of a board like you could play on the table, but it's more about you building your own deck versus someone else. Not like a TCG. It's different. You buy cards and then build a deck. But I like deck building games. But I would have to say the Pokemon one. There's some other ones like the mystery one. I don't know if it's Guess Who. Pretty fun.
Ooh,
but
I
like
remember
Monopolies and yeah. What's up?
I remember Guess Who.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But I would say that was like the main board game because I transitioned from that to like deck building card games and then like D&D and stuff like that.
Okay.
Jay, have you ever played Mystic Vale?
What was that?
Jay, have you ever played Mystic Vale?
You said Pierceville or Mystic Vale?
Mystic
Vale.
Oh no, I never played that. No.
Check that one out. It's a good deck building game. You might like that.
Okay. So as for myself, my number one all-time favorite game always is Monopoly. And the number one piece that I would always go for is Boardwalk, because when they land on it, the game just ended. They'd have to pay me. And, I was never the banker. I never wanted to handle that side, but it was always, I always felt myself as somebody who liked to acquisition every piece on the board, hotels were the biggest thing. But those were all excellent games. Chat, I'm seeing a lot of your responses here, and I'm loving all of the games. We'll definitely. Well, I'm really intrigued on this whole thing with Dungeons and Dragons and Raid Shadow Legends. I think we could do something on this. So Jedi and I are definitely going to be talking about it. Maybe we could do like a once a month segment on the podcast or something. I think that would be kind of cool. But
did you guys watch the movie, by the way? Dungeons and Dragons movie?
I have not.
It's pretty cool, actually. Pretty fun. I recommend it.
Okay.
Did not like it.
You did?
No.
Okay. I do want to give a shout out here to Mr. Zero Brew. Unfortunately, he's on YouTube, so it's not letting me put out his Twitch and stuff. But he's one of the other creators here that joins us on the podcast on Sundays for the Nights of Teleria. He's currently out at a wedding, spending time with like family and stuff. Like, who does that? It's Raid Shadow Legends. Come on, we don't have time for family. All right, so this week, I want to talk about some of the good things that Raid have done and some of the things that attract the player base. I know we're all really quick, especially myself, when they do something wrong to just jump on them and harp on them so fast. But I think sometimes we need to kind of take a step back and give them a little bit of credit because they do a lot of good things, right? And so, I shared with you guys a lot of things that I wanted to discuss today, and we're going to go ahead and start in with the first one right here, which is going to be the champion diversity. Raid, based on most other games that I've played, and I've dabbled into like Ace and Watcher of Realms and stuff like that, Raid's we're almost at 800 champions, and when the game was released, correct me if I'm wrong, it was close to like 300 champions, right? And I think that the ever increasing, as we would call it, watering down the pool is good and bad, but I do have to give them credit that, you know, they are keeping up with that. They are introducing new things. They are making it so that we can sit there and catch them all. Now, based with that, I want to ask you guys, is this one of those things that you look at and say, you know, it still intrigues me because it gives me something extra to do, like it's still, you know, giving you that gotta catch 'em all feeling? Let's start with PJ first.
Personally, like, I know I'm never gonna get them all, but I do like seeing like the graphics and seeing the designs of the characters that are coming in. Like, one of the best things about Raid is the graphic design. So even though I know I'm not gonna probably get the champion, just knowing that there's gonna be multiple more coming in and seeing the cool designs that they come up with is good for me, intriguing to me.
Okay, all right, Jedi.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the things that I love about Raid also. And they continue to impress with interesting kits and new abilities, you know, in addition to the sweet graphics. And I'm going to just go on record here and say, over the summer or probably in the fall, I would not be shocked if we got another faction too. And that's a whole nother thing to explore. So I think that's coming. I think that's coming.
Okay, we got some speculations here.
Leak.
You no leaks, no leaks.
I'm telling you that Armand's is a plant for the Sweet Pirate faction.
You know, I think you're right on with that, and that would be fitting for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
did that with Sato. Is that what you're alluding to?
Exactly.
Yeah. Jay, what about you, man? What do you think? Champion diversity.
Yeah, they definitely know how to, you know, they use some champions do have a little bit of reusage from another champion's kit, but they like to put a spin on it, you know, with the passive or maybe the A3. But usually most champions now are kind of, you know, crept, and they do a really good job of kind of making each its own. And then sometimes they also do champions like Tolfta Maimed, where it's so unique, but at the same time it's not enough to be great. So, but they readdress that and they know to rebalance and stuff like that. They have done a good job in terms of these past 5 years, in terms of how many champions there are in the game, and actually still making them feel slightly fresh compared to other champions. So it's not just reused champions. So overall, they've done a really good job. I like the faction Unity champions overall. They make a totally different kind of gameplay, and it just gives a whole unique way to play comps. I like that a lot.
Agree. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, if I were to put make like a list 1 through 5, what would be the top thing that makes Raid the best? I think this is it definitely, because you're getting, like in other games, like I've played 5 or 6 other of these type of games, gacha games, whatever. And the biggest difference between Raid and these other games is you were getting maybe 1 champ a month, probably every 2 months you're getting a new champ. You're getting 5 to 10 new champs every month in this game, and it just really makes things keep flowing in terms of what you're going to be building and any sort of progression. But I think more so in the PvP side of it. So it's that's to me what puts this above any other game and what makes it so good.
Okay, all right, Mr. Kenpachi.
I mean, that's hard to answer because this quest have double side, right? So I like to see more faces, you know. There is nothing wrong with that, but every time they release a new champion, your chance of to get in Duchess, for example, is getting low and low. Like 3 years ago, you was have a very high chance of to pull her, right? When they release her. The biggest problem is 90% of the champion are literally trash. For the end game perspective, like trash. Like, on the arena wise, trash. On the arena, we keep seeing the same faces. I like to see different faces on the arena. I wish TELERIA5 is focusing more balance update. Recently, they returned to balancing again after like almost 1 year, took a break, you know?
Right.
Even they start really bad with the Fortus and the Angar. I hope they can buff them again because I'm super upset about it. But yeah, I like to see more faces. I'm not trying to catch all of them. I'm only hunting a good-looking waifu.
Okay. Okay. It's funny that you mentioned Duchess right there because I'm going to hop on to the next person. And me and him have had a couple of different arguments about Duchess and Ancora of who's better. But Storm.
Yeah, Duchess is better. Duchess is better. Let's just leave it at that. That's my opinion. That might not be a fact, and I know you guys know this game much better than I do, but yeah, no, you can't catch them all. I like to see new faces, especially if they have good kits. 12 them aimed. I mean, he might be unique, but he's completely garbage. So, unique doesn't really fly in this game. You have to be able to use a champ. They do a great job with diversity for the kits and all. Some of them are the same, yes, like you guys are saying. The pool is diluted. Yeah, you can look. I think Ken is going to be pulling on my next either ancients or sacreds that do involve a harima, because I think at this point I'm like 13k down and I still don't have a harima, and he seems to.
I'm a good harima puller.
And he seems to be pulling them out of his hindsight. So,
I got two of myself.
Yeah. So I'm done throwing money away, and please, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, the meta champs for the PvE. Look, PvE is PvE. You could use a lot of different comps and utilize pretty much everybody in the game, which is great. PvP is completely different. I placed, I think the highest I've placed in PvP was like number 12 or something like that at Platinum Reset. I'm not doing that anymore because it is the same thing over and over again. It's a little boring. Even if you do get first. Like first, honestly, is ultimately the thing to shoot for. Like, 0.0 something percent of people could actually do that. You either throw in crazy money at the game, or you're, have crazy luck and RNG, which this game is all about, rolling your gear. Because as we all know, Shinny is a guru with, spending close to nothing and still balling out and knowledge. I mean, he has a head on his shoulders. So, but yeah,
okay.
Champs are great, but we could utilize pretty much anything here. So,
all right, Brunt, what about you? What do you think? Champion diversity?
Yeah, I mean it's a double-edged sword, but it's also one of the things that I think makes this game great. You've got, just take the last fusion. You've got Ostrid. Ostrid you can compare to Lysandra, you can compare to Arbiter, you can compare to Necmo, are the three big comparisons. And you can argue in almost any scenario which one is better, and honestly both sides might be right. I know MTG's done a lot of stuff on why Necmo is not as good as Ostrid. I disagree, but that has more to do with how I use Necmo that Ostrid wouldn't work in, not because one's better than the other. They're just different ways to use them, and if you have a team that built a different way, you can do it. And the fact that you can build so many PvE teams so many different ways with so many different champions is great, because it means that you finally at a situation where you're not... every team's going to have this champion, and this champion. Now, at the end game, you have the ultra meta champions, obviously, and that's a little bit of a problem because you don't have a Newt. Well, you're going to struggle with Fire Knight 10 hard.
Right.
Not necessarily you can't do it, but you're not going to clear it anywhere near as fast as folks that have a Newt, because Newt just brings absolutely everything. Duchess is, at least used to be super key in Arena. Now you've got Narcissus and Taurus that are like, if you don't have a Narcissus or a Taurus, you're in trouble in some of the live arenas sometimes. And that's really where I think the difference is. In PvE, it's great to have the champion diversity. The balance, which I know they are working on, and balance, as much as we give them credit for not doing a great job with it, it's not easy. But the PvE side of it, there really is champions that are clear head and shoulders above others in certain roles that you end up having to see again and again and again. And, so it's a double-sided coin. But, I'd love to catch them all. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Can I go off on that if you're done?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So going off of that, like a lot of all of us here are pretty much endgame. But as far as if you think about newer players, it's great to have diversity as far as PvE, because you can pull multiple champions, or let's say you need HP burner. There's a lot of people that can do HP burner. There's not just one champion in the game that has HP burn. So like as an end game, you're like, oh yeah, I pulled someone. I already have someone that can do that job. But as like a new player, like, oh wow, like I have no one that can do that. That's amazing. So it's like you're saying, it's really good for PVE to have like diversity for players.
Yeah. Actually, a good example of that is Mordecai, because you're talking about the HP burns. Mordecai used to be the king of Spider because he was one of the few people that could do the HP burns really, really well. And now Mordecai is like, oh, good, I got a Mordecai, but I already have this champion, this champion, this champion, and this champion that do HP burns, so I didn't need Mordecai specifically, which is great, but at the same time, it does devalue some of the other epics, particularly a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I said, the champion diversity is great, and I know we harp about the rebalance. And let's face it, I mean, who was it that just told me? Alpha Bravo just told me there was like 858 champions in the game. The skill kits, guys, like, you know, we can't have every single champion doing every single thing. So the rebalancing, you know, we got to give them a little bit of slack on this, just because. Yeah, we can't have 10 people coming in doing the same exact thing. It's not going to make them useful, even though, you know, we got to give them a little bit something extra, right? So overall, though,
Armas.
Yeah, right. We could use a few more Armand's types or Armand's type counters, but
Please, bro, come on.
Just wait for the pirate faction. I think the counter is going to be in that one.
Leaks.
What's always the disadvantage of balance too is if you balance things by one champion counters another overpowered champion, you've literally limited yourself to either you have the overpowered champion and beat most teams, or you have the counter, and then you don't have to worry about that one particular team. And that's not great balance necessarily either.
Yeah,
correct.
But that's what Raid doing, right? Creating problem, then selling the solution. So they create the problem with the armas. They are going to sell it. They are going to sell the champion immune to the ship or whatever. They are going to do it.
Narcissus is kind of an example. They created a problem with Taurus and Marishka, and Narcissus kind of solves that problem.
Yeah, after 1 year too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but Narcissus is at least a good option of a well-balanced champion. Narcissus is great against Taurus and Marishka, but he's not so overpowered that there's no counters to him. So in fact, you can actually still bring a Tarsus and a Marishka and outdo him if you have better gear. So it's not like a 100% counter, but Narcissus is also useful against regular champions. So he's also a good champion overall.
Especially against Bolster team.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next thing that Raid excels at and does really good, which we did touch up on it a little bit while we were talking, but it is the graphics. And I've seen, you know, we had Summoner's War come out, we had Ace, we have Watcher of Realms, which I think is probably the closest one to graphics-wise. But since day one, Plarium has hit it out of the park with the graphics. I mean, we can see here, champion graphics just really look awesome, right? The design team hits it out of the park. Some of the best. And I don't like the cartoon feeling of the gameplay, you know, for some of the other games, which is why I really don't last more than like 24 hours playing them. But
you mean anime style?
Exactly. Like I was never a fan of like Summoner's War and Ace because it just felt like it felt like I was watching like a cartoon, right? I came from the world of World of Warcraft where, you know, the graphics were great. They were phenomenal. And I played that game for about 15 years. I think I played that up until I started playing Raid. And it was, you know, it's what attracted me to it. So with that, like, what do you guys think? Is the graphics part of Raid Shadow Legends, you know, a god tier improvement compared to some of the other ones? Is it, you know, do we find other games, have they led the, you know, the genre into what is currently expected for most of these mobile games? I'm going to start this off with PJ first.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like a mobile game, I think Raid knocks it out of the park. I think if the graphics and the weren't as good, I think a lot of people same game, but the graphics were like the anime style. Not as many people would be playing Raid. I think the graphics are a huge reason why people like playing the game.
Okay.
Yeah, might be. I don't know if it's number one. It could be up there. I think it's a huge reason.
Okay. Jedi, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Raid is really still leading the way. Like I've tried a lot of these other games and it just doesn't feel the same. I want to like and play other games, but I always just keep coming back to Raid. I'm hoping the Fateless game, that Hell Hades and them are working on is going to really push the envelope, but unless you want something very different, like I think like Watcher and what's the other one?
Dragonair.
Dragonair. Yeah, Watcher and Dragonair, like they bring their own different spin on it. So if you want a different spin, then you have good options. But if you want something similar, it's just there's not anything comparable in my opinion. And with the recent additions to the game with like Curse City and Hydra and the things that they're continuing to do and push, I think that they just continue to keep themselves on top. Like,
agreed.
After trying other games, I still just love playing Raid. I still just want to play Raid. And as long as they keep, running it well and not chasing everybody off with some of these poor decisions, I think it could be around for a long time.
Agreed. I think I've always viewed Raid as a World of Warcraft. And I mean, World of Warcraft has been out for almost 20 plus years.
Yeah,
probably more than that.
Yeah. So I feel like Raid, if they play their cards right, if they do things right, they'll be around for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, what about you, brother? What you got for me?
Yeah, graphics have always been pretty good. I like the camera angles. But it was never something like that. Like it was nice because at the time I was playing a lot of these anime gachas, right? The original ones. Mm-hmm. It was pretty nice to see something a little bit more dark RPG, and I'm actually into like D&D and dark RPG, so it really did catch me on. Like you said, like most of us came from WoW, most of us came from like cartoony other type of games, so like this was a little bit different take, right? And you could do it on your phone, right? It wasn't you didn't have to play it on Steam or anything like that. So it was just like, wow, I can play a gacha game with this fidelity on my phone. And then of course eventually people went to Player and Play, but yeah, I think the graphics are nice. I think it's kind of like stood its time, and it does show other games or other companies that want to kind of make one. You got to push to the limit. You can't just go like super. I mean, I've seen some 8-bit ones. I've seen Street Fighter Duel. I play that one, and it's not super graphical intensive. But I think it's the animations of the skills from Raid as well. When you use certain types of A2s, A3s, it just looks fresh, right? So right. I think the graphics do play a part into Raid.
Yeah.
Wow. I just to piggyback off of that real quick. That's one of the really limiting factors when I try a new game is the animations. They just look so unrealistic. It just looks like almost nonsense with like these movements and patterns and stuff. And then Raid, it looks like real people. Like it looks like you're actually fighting the boss. Yep. So it adds that level of realism and brings you in like, this is my team, this is my characters, and I'm really fighting this boss. And those other games, it just seems like you're playing a game from, 2000.
Agree. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm playing, I don't know if you guys remember like Vandal Hearts and stuff like that. From back in the day, I was like, I just can't get into those. I can't.
I do wish we could flip the screen and see like our team's face.
I like that idea. Like, so for us to be able to just like visually see what they're doing, I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe that
arena.
That should be a feature that Plarium adds. So,
Yeah, you don't want to see what QMS are doing with their face,
All right, Gestal, what do you got to say on that, man?
Yeah, I would say art and design is certainly something that's going to bring people into a game, and they definitely have done a great job, like everyone else has said. To me, it's more about the gameplay. I think the art stuff is great, and this game, like I said, this game looks great. But like once you really get into a game, I'm only looking at buffs and debuffs. Like I don't even see the rest of it anymore. So I think it's more of a great way to show people that it is a real game, a real good, fresh looking game, and that's a good way to get people in. But like over time, like I don't know, I barely even notice things anymore.
Okay. Ken?
Graphic actually very big for me, man. Like, I'm not like very graphic guy. I mean, maybe I am, but I also love games like Terraria. Like one of my favorite game. But I actually randomly download the game. I mean, Raid. This is how I got the Raid. I just download the game. I look the graphic. Dragon. Beginning of the game was looking cool, and this is how I get the game. Got in the game. I mean, the champion design looks solid. Still, especially the new champion they releasing compared to the old one, you can see the texture difference between them, right? Like look the Angar for example, like he's like you can count his polygon, ninja face, and look the Östring face, like stuff like that. But Raid is like almost 5 years old game, I think, included the beta now. It's getting old, like maybe if I download the game today, maybe I don't like it that much. Especially the other games I played. Like Jedi mentioned, I also tried lots of different game guys. Like they are not like Raid, I really want to play something else besides Raid on the side, but not really like a Raid. I didn't find a replacement of this game. But if you're talking about quality, like graphic quality, like I know you don't like anime style game, but like Genshin Impact, like Mihoyo game, Xanadu
I tried that. I even did a sponsorship for it. I could not get into it for whatsoever.
No, I'm talking about graphical design. So like they are almost like AAA PC game quality. So
yeah.
But this Raid they need to release one feature really quickly. We need a jiggle effect, bro. Like there is no physics on this game. Come on, like Plarium, like.
Okay.
Jiggle effect.
I know why you want the jiggle effect, but Brunt, what about you, my man?
Well, I mean, the graphics are great, and I mean, I don't want to say great because there are better graphical games out there. But as far as a mobile game is accessible for a lot of people on a lot of different hardware, they do a very good job of filling the niche of decent graphics. And I think where they shine, which is where they've learned to shine over the past 3 years or so, is the character design more than just anything else. I mean, the dungeon designs are good. They look good. The background designs look good. But the bosses have such cool details, And Korra uses the same model, for example, as Raglan, for example. It's actually the same physical model, but they look very so unalike that it looks like an entirely different champ, and it's great. And I mean, you look back at some of the early designs, Duchess looks like, 5 different other champions, just almost entirely. And it's just the color is a little bit different, and maybe there's a couple of different textures that are slightly different in slightly different areas. And in fact, that's actually something I would love to see them do, is to, at least for the legendaries, go back to the ones that literally look identical to another legendary and just make them a little bit different. Figure out maybe Duchess gets a couple of accessories that actually make her look like she's more unique. Or Kymar and Tyrant are really easy to mistake for one another if you're not paying really a good attention, because they're really a color palette swap.
Yeah, if you colorblind.
Nebraskan Warlord.
And that's not to say that they haven't done a great job with it. And obviously, early on, they were budget conscious, so they didn't they only had so many things, whatever else. And I'm not expecting the rares and the uncommons to look particularly unique either. Although they've been doing that great with it now. As far as other games are concerned, I mean, Watcher of Realms looks great. It's at least on a graphical fidelity level very similar to Raid. Yeah. Just the gameplay wasn't for me, but I understand it's for different people. Different people like different style games. You mentioned the anime style games. One of the games that did last for about a year to a year and a half with me was actually Honkai Star Rail, which is done by the MiHoYo folks as well. That actually had a combination of a Genshin vibe with the anime collections and how they handled the characters, as well as the Raid idea of grinding gear and other stuff like that with turn-based combat. And overall, it was kind of fun. It just didn't stick with me too long, and part of the reason goes back to actually the champion collection aspect of it. Of once you get the champion, there's not much to do other than maybe grind slightly better gear for them, or maybe try to figure out this or get the next champion, because that's how that game is built. So, and that's part of why I think Raid has stuck around, is it's got the graphic fidelity and it's got the champion collection, and I think it kind of all meets in there. But again, there's plenty of games, if you're not into, you're not into the dark fantasy, I can see why the graphics may not be as good for you. And to be fair, I really do like the anime style as well, so it's not an issue of I think one's better than the other. I just happen to also enjoy the anime style. But they've done a good job, very Nintendo-esque, I guess is a good way to describe it, of figuring out what their style is going to be, and then making sure their style fits and is consistent and looks good, even though they're not necessarily pushing graphical hardware or fidelity boundaries, because they can't, because it's a phone game.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Storm, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, the detail, the champs are great. Just piggybacking. I've seen, I don't recall what the names are, but just literally trying to find another game to play, right? When you go into your battalion, right, to look at all your champs, when you're actually looking at your champs and their stats, they could be amazing in any other game too, right? But the attention to detail when you translate it into actually in the gameplay is amazing too. Yeah, we only see the back like somebody else mentioned, but the detail is there. Then the bosses come in or whatever, the other champs that you're actually facing. It's unlike any other game in this type of style. I'm not talking about anime. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, the graphics are amazing, and for a lot of people, like somebody just said, like, it doesn't really matter to me, and we probably say that because we're taking it for granted. We've been playing this game for such a long time that we don't really care, right? We want to pull that champ, we want to roll that gear, right? But they have this game, and what Plarium does the best, my personal opinion, is they're a business first and foremost, and all of their departments are just doing an amazing job of collaborating and coming up with the end result product that will give you like to pull the champs, you go ahead and do that. You like arena, go ahead and do that. You like this on a champ, perfect. It ties in, and it makes this huge big community of people who like different things but play the same game. They choose to play this game and they stick with it for such a long time. I think they do an amazing job. You can't pull all the champs that you want. Otherwise, you're going to be bored and you're not going to be playing this game. This is RNG. That's it. You can't get pissed off and say, oh, I quit because I can't pull it. Dude, I'm dying for a Terrace. I have everything. I don't have a Terrace. I don't have a Harima. These are the only two I don't have. But it's the thrill. It's the chase. It's the community that we're in. It's a little bit of everything that keeps this going. 5th year, what is it now?
5th year,
I started playing, I think 2 weeks before the Rotos Fusion. So this game already had a bunch of awesome champs, right? Because we already had some fusions. I think St. Nick, Torment was before my time. And then Rotos happened and I couldn't get him. I was missing, I'll never forget this, the only rare I was missing, Fencer.
Oh, me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too, bro.
And that drove me crazy because I like to get what I want. And
I still remember.
But then that's it. And and I'm still here. I wasn't down about it. We understand that it's the RNG aspect of it, and yeah, everything progresses. There's good, there's bad, but graphics are amazing. Gameplay is amazing. The community is amazing. And this is what makes us be here.
Agreed. One of the other things, and this goes to credit to, creators like FinalKenpachi, like Boozer, Erebad, who have taken the challenge of becoming free to play.
No, I don't know.
Next level. The next level.
They're not, I like to think right now I'm running like an ultimate free-to-play team here on my clan boss, the double Taras, Marichka, Akrizia, Kresk. It is one of the ultimate free-to-play teams. But I mean, Raid, and I think Ken says it the best, thank you, all the whales out there, for allowing me to play free-to-play, because they do a decent job at playing giving us the gameplay, or at least enough to be able to keep ourselves and have some fun with it as free to play. And, again, I think I can't lie, I was like 5 seconds into the download, I was free to play, and then, that went out the door. But, could they be a little friendlier with free to play? Sure. But compared to some of these other games that I've seen, they really do a decent job at keeping them engaged. What do you guys think? Is it on par where it should be, or could it be more? And I'm gonna leave Ken last because I want to hear what he has to say. But let's start with Jedi first.
Can you clarify the question a second?
So, is free to play actually, I guess not achievable, but do they do a good job with keeping the free to play and engaged throughout the gameplay?
Okay, so I definitely have a lot of thoughts on this topic. I think that free to play is probably the more fun way to play, because as somebody who has the majority of the champions in the game, obviously I don't use them. Like, I have so many really cool champions that I would use if I had less champions to choose from. So the free-to-play people, when they get one of these high power level, even mid-tier champions, they value it so much more. Like, if you get Terrace on a free-to-play account, it's like you won the lottery, right? You just literally win everything. I did a takeover yesterday for somebody who's level 50, and he has a Laz. That was on his first 10 pull, or his first shard opening for primal shards, he got a Laz. And then when he unlocked the Soulstone area, he got a 6-star Alaz in his first session.
Ban him.
It was the most fun takeover I think I've ever done. And then every problem we just solved with that. And so that guy is going to cherish that champion, right? That's like the flagship of his account. And even if you don't get somebody, that's obviously 1 in a million right there. Even if you don't get somebody like that, you'll go through these stages and progressions where, wow, this champion's awesome, they've helped me in so many ways. Wow, this other champion's awesome, and they help me in so many ways. And you learn to, solve problems differently than people who spend money. A lot of times, those free-to-play players are coming up with these sweet strategies. So that's why I love being friends with them, because then bring those over and we'll showcase them, But I think that spending money on the game is fun. Don't get me wrong. It's super fun. I love doing it for myself and the community. But in terms of gameplay, I think Plarium has done a wonderful job making the early game more accessible. I think they need to continue to improve that, like with chickens especially, because getting your first team to 6-star is still very taxing. Mm-hmm. And once you have that first team, then it lightens up, but that is really the bottleneck I think that they need to fix right now. But they keep doing the logins. There are so much more energy and resources now. So I think that free-to-play is very much more accessible now than what it used to be.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully that wasn't
no. That I think you pretty much summed everything up right there. Let's go with.
Can I follow up on that one?
Yeah, go right ahead. We'll jump to you.
Yeah, because there was actually that and something that Storm mentioned earlier, that two things that I think go together with that is that, yeah, there's so much to do in the game, and yes, the free-to-play experience can be fun because champions mean more to you. I know early on when I was free-to-play, I pulled a Rector Drath, and Rector Drath dragged me through all kinds of content that I probably had no business actually getting through in the content for a while because,
Right.
I mean, I had a Fire Knight 18 team, and I love this team. It would take about 10 minutes to run, but it was 100%. But in the second wave, I would get down to only having Rector Drath alive, and she would start reviving the entire team, and they'd pick back up. And it was 100%, and it was so weird, but it, you know, and it's just, you get a good champion and you run with it, and it can take over your account, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And that's great, and it makes you build teams like that, or it makes you appreciate, oh, I forgot that champion does that, especially in takeovers when we're doing these things. And that's why I love doing the takeovers, because it's basically every account is a little bit of a different puzzle.
Yep.
You know, and that's honestly why I think a lot of people actually run 2 or 3 accounts sometimes as well with Raid, because it's like, well, this account plays entirely different than this account because I've got half the different champions and I've got champions I won't get, so it's kind of cool too. But you also have the problem of early on, people are so focused on what are the best champions. They see content, and to be fair, content creators, you know, help with this a bit too. When we talk about, oh, look at this great champ, he's the new meta, and somebody looks and says, I didn't get the new meta champ, this sucks, what do I do with this account? You know, talking about the early game being struggles, one of the guys that I did a takeover from recently has 18 champions on his account. He's level 68, he can do hard dragon, but he has 18 champions on his account because he's been feeding champions into other champions. He's got a +1 Kriya the Watcher, because he didn't realize he should hold on to the Kriya the Watcher, the second one, to do the fusion. And some of this is because the game doesn't hold your hand as well as it probably could. Some of this is because, and to be fair, we're, you know, and I'm not saying the content creators are doing a bad job with this. We're covering what champions as they come out, but sometimes you look out and you see, these are the meta champions. Oh, I didn't get the meta champion, so this champion must be food. I can feed this champion to somebody else to get somebody done. And you don't think about I need a balanced roster, because eventually as I get farther in the game, you start needing specialized champions. And that's what makes the game great, but it also makes the game puzzling for free-to-play players.
True.
You know, I didn't have an allure for ages, and so I had all kinds of weird solutions for Fire Knight for the long time to farm Fire Knight 25. I had a 300 speed holes ring at one point in time doing it. I had a team that ran for like 3 or 4 minutes, that I actually ended up sharing that with MTG a couple of years ago, and he made a video on, hey, this is kind of a cool non-allure team that you can do, and it was because I shared it because I wanted other people to know about it. So, you know, and you know, stuff like that, and it's, you know, and that's actually where I think the primal shards kind of get Telerium in a little bit of trouble. With mythical champions are just so powerful and so great, and it is so hard to get them. And I kind of understand why it's so hard to get them, and I understand that you want to make the climb, but primal shards are so hard to get. The mercy is so far, and the only fusible one that anyone can get requires so many difficult to get champions because several of them are epics, or you have to randomly pull some legendaries. You know, I still don't have a Mikage at all. You know, I've pulled 100 and some odd primals and have had absolutely nothing. You know, I'm not like Gestal pulling 3 of them in a 10 pull. Or, you know, and it can also, it's one of these things that, yes, this game is accessible free to play. You don't need a mythical to get through most of the content. But at the same time, it can feel very non-rewarding because you can get bad RNG for such a long string in a row that it feels like you're never going to get some of these champions or some of these things that could actually change your account. You know, Void Legendary used to be the problem. You know, I think I've hit Mercy in Voids, my past 5 legendaries in Voids. That's how bad my luck has been lately. Now, I've got a great account and I can tolerate it, so it hasn't been too bad. And to be fair, I got a Narcissus because I did the guaranteed. But it's been not great getting Voids for me for a while. Frustrating. You know, mythical, frustrating. But at the same time, I've got an account that I can still do most of this stuff anyway, because I've got all the regular legendaries. I know how to build them. I know how to do this other stuff. I've got a good gear set. But that's where I think that's the only part where really the free-to-play experience can really fall down, is it's okay to have a great free-to-play experience. It's okay to rely on these epics. But if you get through a horrible string of luck to the point of where you have like no legendaries or 1 or 2 legendaries 6 months in, which can happen on a regular free-to-play account, it's also not super fun.
Agreed. Agreed. There's definitely a lot on that. You know, the RNG is just on a whole nother level. But PJ,
I know I kind of monopolized the first part of the question, but can I jump back in for 2 seconds?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So, like, this has been like one of the most engaging videos that I've done in a while. Is my push for Plarium to get everyone a mythical champion. I think it's really important for the longevity of the game. They're doing a good thing with Mikage, but like if Bront can't get Mikage, like there are plenty of people who've been playing for years can't just like get her. Like, okay, well they're trying their best, but obviously not everybody is there. We need another avenue for everybody to get a mythical champion. And I think that has to be a login champion. Or it has to be some type of special event where everybody can get it with minimal effort. Like, instead of doing 7 days for Adolin, do 14, 21, 30 days. I don't care. But everybody needs to get a mythical champion. And I think that's really, really important. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I'm gonna actually pose that as a question because I think I might have a good solution to that. So we're gonna hold off on that question, but that will be the next one you guys are gonna answer after we continue through this. PJ, hit me.
Okay, lots of thoughts going on with that question too. So the first question, free to play. I haven't done free to play in like years. I haven't like started a free to play account. But what I remember is that getting chickens, getting that first 60, that first team is the worst. It takes forever. It's really sucky. So I would love for them to get more chickens, just speed up that process. Like you want to be able to get a team and then start branching out and having multiple other teams for different areas of the game. So it'd be nice for them to speed that up. As far as free to play being like, I don't know if you'd be able to start a free to play account now and push plat like in like 2-3 years maybe, unless you get like super lucky. It's gonna be really hard because the plat players now are also gonna be extending their gear and getting better and better. So I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to do like that kind of like super end game arena. But as far as like PvE stuff, yeah, like free to play, you can definitely do all the content. It's also, I couldn't imagine doing free to play or starting an account now with all the new areas of the game, like with them adding Sand Devil, Cursed City, Phantom Shogun, even like Iron Twins. Like none of that stuff was there when I started playing, so it was just way easier to focus on like Dragon, Spider, and things that were like really important. Now people are trying to do everything because they see all the other players doing everything, and it's like slowing their account down even more because they should be focusing on just like the basic stuff, and then they'll get to that down the line. But they want to do it now. Everyone wants to do it now. They see everything now.
Right.
And
doesn't Hydra unlock at like level 40 or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
It's early.
So it's which is actually like hurting them in the long run. So, but yeah, as far as like free to play, you can definitely do and have a great time being a free to play player.
Okay, Jay, what was that?
Can I add some stuff too?
Yep. I mean, give me one. Go right ahead. I'll jump right to you.
I'm nowhere near free to play.
Really?
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
Because of that, I don't know this game. I literally don't know what Seer does other than Karma Burn.
That's a fair point. You know
what I'm saying? And that's sad. Because a guy like Boozer or anybody, you know what I mean? Which is amazing. They're learning the game. And that's when they can do content. You know what I mean? Pulling shards and all, that's engaging. That's what gives you the views. But then you teach people a thing or two. I think MTG has a really nice, kind of separation of I do a little bit of this, but then I help out with accounts that want to progress. Ultimately, look, Plarium, we all know who the parent company is, right? They know casinos.
Yep.
The psychologists who work for that company, they know what to do and how to advise the developers of what to do with the game. because they're taking people who like to
Hey,
live on
sorry,
a...
impromptu baby. So I got to hop off. So, sorry, man.
No worries. So, well, I actually, while we're doing that, guys, I got to show you something that we've been working a little hard on while we fix the screens and stuff. So, hope you guys enjoy this. We worked a little hard. We worked quite a bit hard trying to get this done. But, yeah, here we go. Let's go.
In the heart of the age of Hellfire, when darkness threatened to consume all, there emerged a beacon of hope. Hear ye now the tale of Sigmund, the High Shield Baron, a hero born not of legend, but of necessity. Sigmund, Baron High Shield, was one of the greatest heroes of the Age of Hellfire. In those dark days, every corner of Teleria was subjected to intermittent invasions by hordes of demon-spawned and undead. Infernal sieges drained all the resources of even the wealthiest cities, and waves of demonic raiders ravaged the countryside. Despite these harrowing times, Sigmund Baron High Shield was a gentle soul. His tutors scolded him for his gregarious nature, since this often led him to be distracted from his drills. He was apt to converse with the common soldiers who trained alongside him, peppering them with questions of typical childish curiosity. Many thought that fraternizing with those beneath his social standing was harming the dignity of his office. But Sigmund realized that in such blighted times as the Age of Hellfire, camaraderie was all the more meaningful, a fact lost amongst his conservative peers and minders. Both of Sigmund's parents were killed when their coach was swept away by a landslide. Still but a lad, shaken but determined, the newly instated Baron Sigmund ordered a thorough investigation. Secret documents recovered from a demon-spawned encampment his warriors overran revealed that their agents had sabotaged the route with a constructed deadfall. Worse, according to these coded messages, the assassination was merely the prelude to a full-scale invasion of his barony. Thus forewarned, he raced to prepare defenses and hoard resources for the bitter years to come. The High Shield Barony, with its majestic castle and expansive fields, was known as a place of plenty and mirth. Its peasants were renowned as growers of fine crops and makers of fine ale, which commanded high prices all over the world. To the demon-spawned, such a jovial and productive territory was ripe for desecration, and so they began one of the most intense invasions of the age. The jocular, youthful Baron Sigmund transformed rapidly into a stoic, competent, and pragmatic commander. Bearing the shining great shield that was his ancestral birthright, he defended his frontline troops with great gallantry. Famed for his lustrous white mustache, he commanded the respect of his soldiers because he was willing to share in their sacrifices, never shirking from his duties, and constantly offering up his personal wealth to assuage their suffering. After devastating the countryside, the armies of darkness gathered in force to overwhelm Castle High Shield. Messenger birds had informed Sigmund that a relief force from the Sacred Order was rushing to his aid, but it looked as though they would be too late. Desperate for ideas, Sigmund spent a long and frustrating night commiserating with his commanders, poring over infernal lore and battlefield reports for any possible weaknesses in the enemy. Eventually, Sigmund concocted a plan to exploit the willfulness and rapacity of the demon-spawned, inspired by his own generous nature. He emptied his treasure vault of its remaining wealth and had agents infiltrate the countryside to hide caches of wondrous artifacts and sacks of coin. His spies then seeded rumors of these treasure troves, which spread like wildfire from the lips of the small folk and the invaders alike. Shortly, many of the enemy warlords had broken camp and led their followers to pursue these treasures.
Hello, YouTube.
The rest had no choice but to follow suit, for they no longer had the force to maintain the siege and nurtured bitter jealousy to boot. With each find, their gold lust increased, until the demon-spawned were fighting each other over the booty. This loss of focus and increased infighting among his enemies bought Sigmund the time he needed. And so it was that when the Sacred Order army arrived, the demon-spawned were scattered and distracted, and several legions were defeated in detail before the army as a whole regrouped. Faced with the combined might of the ferocious zealots of the Order and Sigmund's now reinvigorated troops, the demon-spawned swiftly retreated, taking with them almost the entirety of the barony's wealth. Sigmund had saved High Shield but was left penniless.
Did you guys get
a grand feast was called for to celebrate the victory, But Sigmund had to shamefacedly admit that he did not have the resources to properly honor the brave warriors, priests, and magi who had fought and bled for him. Hearing this, the peasantry rallied to their lord, remembering his sacrifices and his warm, humble style of rulership. Whole families flocked to his castle bearing gifts of food and drink, offerings from their small holdings to be shared in the spirit of family. Some were fortunate enough to have recovered some of the treasures used as lures for the demons spawned and returned them to their liege. Sigmund promptly sold off these last bits of lucre to treat his followers to the finest victuals. Sigmund, the boy baron, would go on to rule long and well, still the same genial and generous soul in old age that he had been in the darkest days of the Age of Hellfire.
All right, guys. We ran kind of worked not the way I really wanted to. I thought getting in that end screen would have changed it, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was actually the lore for Sigmund High Shield. If you're a lore junkie, we're going to start introducing some of these on the channel and on the nights. They're a lot of fun. I really like them, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. All right, so let's pop back up to Storm. Sorry to cut you off, brother, but continue with what you were saying.
No worries. I have a 10-month-old. I know how it is. My wife took them out. They're out for a walk right now, so I understand. Honestly, forgot what I was talking about.
Free to play and how you don't know how to use anything but Seer.
No, it's not only
he doesn't know Seer.
I don't know Seer is what I'm saying. It's even worse. I know Karma Burn, but that's about it. I don't know her 8-1 or 8-2 or whatever that is, you know what I mean? But I mean I do know, but you know what I'm saying. Like, we know certain things, and look, the actual question was, is it, free to play friendly? It depends. It depends how much of resources do you want to spend right now, and how much you can wait and actually prep for the next fusion, for this and that. It's all there for you. It depends on you as a player, as a person. Can you hold out? Can a person like me, OCD, be doing the same thing that Boozer is doing, where he has red dots everywhere? No. I mean, no. It depends, but it's there for you. It's how you choose to play the game, and that's about it. But free-to-play players, they know the champs. They know a lot of things more than everybody else. That's my 2 cents, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Jay, hit me.
From someone who's basically helped a lot of the community from free to play all the way to like late game, mainly, right, coaching and account takeovers, I will say there is a different world between plat players, end game players, and like early free to play. You really appreciate champions like uncommons, rares, things like that. They're easier to book, easier to invest into. Yes, in terms of free to play, is raid free to play? I mean, it's definitely evolved in monetization. We've seen it, right, with empowerment and blessings and things like that. But overall, they've done a pretty good job. And I think raid has always been free to play. Like, I could easily do it. We've done it challenges, right? I've done it where I don't pull no shards except mysteries only. So it does, like, when people tell me like it's not possible, I'm like, it's not true. You're just not trying. Yes, raid needs to do a little bit better in terms of information. It's an old game based on an old engine. And even like the quests and stuff haven't been really like updated, right? So I wish they added some stuff, right? They put boss guides to help people out. They put a little bit of like in-game news and stuff like that. I wish they did add a little bit more, but overall, raid is definitely a free-to-play game. You just have to be very disciplined, and you have to know how to use your resources correctly and what to invest into. Of course, our job as creators to keep helping those people out. But I don't think it is as crazy. Now, if we're talking about like super end game or like, plat pushing or anything like that, yes, there's different. It's hard. You have to be very, very meticulous in who you invest to, why you do certain things or builds and artifact ascension. But overall, Raid is a good free to play game because I play 2 of the gachas totally free to play. I only spend in Raid, so I do like investing into this game. There's some things I shouldn't have invested into, but as an investor of this game, I will say you can do it on both sides. It's just you have to be way more disciplined. You have to know a lot more information, which I wish Plarium would put that out more in the face of the player, so they wouldn't be forced to like, oh man, I feel like I'm positioned, I have to spend, right? Because people will be like, oh, I hate this, I have to spend. I'm like, no, you don't. Just think of it a different way, and eventually those players do find a way and go, wow, I did it without having to spend.
Okay. Let's go Gestal. You've got a free to play too, huh?
Yeah, I've had a free to play for almost 2 years now, and I, coming in as someone who put a decent amount of money into the game, I really wanted to see what it was like from the free to play perspective, and see if it is viable. And I think it's a very friendly free to play game. Not to reiterate what a lot of people are saying, but really all it comes down to is resource management. Once you get that Ultra Nightmare team, you're getting enough shards to be able to do fusions every month. Then your account just explodes. Like, as long as you can get to that point, if you can hold out to getting to that Ultra Nightmare point where you have it 3-4 key, I don't even care if you have to do a 4 key. I was doing a 4 key for a while on the free to play. But as soon as you can start doing that on the daily and you're getting those shards, your account just opens up, because not only are you pulling shards, so like you hold your shards for the fusions. So not only are you guaranteed to get that legendary fusion, but then you also have a good chance of hitting while you're pulling shards there, instead of just pulling them randomly one at a time, or like a couple during a 2x or something. So it really comes down to resource management, and it's a ton of fun, man. I almost have, like, I'm more excited to pull shards on my free to play account than I am on the main account. Like, I can't wait to like have a point where I can pull those shards and like see if there's an upgrade. So anytime someone comes into the game and they're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm like, play the game free to play. It's a struggle early on, but once you get it moving, it's a great game. And the other thing I always say is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You got to look at this game as something you're going to be playing for a long time. The other thing I always say is you can, like, this game you can play as like a side piece game. Like, you don't have to put hours a day into it to maintain that. Like, my free-to-play account, I do dailies, I do advanced quests, and then I do fusion events when they're going. Pretty much that's it. Like, you can do that with 30 to 45 minutes a day. And it's not like you're glued to your screen while you're doing it either. It's while you're doing other stuff. So, I tell everybody, if you're on the fence about the game, you don't want to spend money, or you're afraid that you have to spend money, I'm always like, the game is almost more fun if you're not spending money.
Agreed.
Your bot is banning people, by the way.
Oh man, no, gotta stop that. Thank you so much for the raid, Chaz. I appreciate it. That bot has not had to handle that so much. So T-Bone's on it. But guys, thank you very much for the awesome raid of 114. Chaz, huge shout out to you, brother. All right, now let's hear from the the 1397 free to play Mr. FinalKenpachi.
I mean, the question, by the way, to the new raid people, raiders, is this game free to play friendly? Stuff like that. We was talking about that, and I agree with content creator friends, most of them, especially the Jedi. He said like, this game is more fun on the free to play, right? I actually agree with that. I actually always give the same example. I don't know, you guys know the Dark Souls game, Elder Ring. They are very hard game. Like this is how they built the game, right? You can beat this game by using cheat. Like you can install the trainer, you know, like you can like make your unlimited HP, you know, like one shot the boss, stuff like that. I actually beat the previous Dark Souls 1-2 game like that. And I beat the game, I'm like, okay, it's over. I guess it was fun, you know. Then not recently, when the Elden Ring is released, I beat this game without anything, you know. Man, I was almost crying end of the game. You know, that was like loss of effort, you know, stuff like that. I did it, you know. That was amazing. Yes, I agree with that. This game is more fun if you play in free-to-play because like making something successful is not that easy, right? Like you don't have a lots of options. Like Storm said earlier, like most of the whale people doesn't even know some champion because they never use them because they already have like top 10 champion in the game. They always use them, right? But on the free-to-play perspective, we have less option. Obviously, depends the arranger, but most of the time we have to use whatever we have, right? Like I still don't have a Shamal, guys. I try to survive without him. Like I never pulled him. Like happens, never pulled him. So yeah, I still struggling on the Hydra sometime, you know, like especially my heart team, you know, even my heart team is a 3 cleanser. Shamal's something else, you know, like the fear is broken all the time. Anyway, like the short-term terms, like yeah, you can definitely success something on this game without spending any single money. I'm in the Gold 4 live arena right now, and pretty much every single enemies have full mythical team. I'm not having fun with that, but it is what it is. The game definitely the Gold 5 live arena, I would like to say. And I did a platinum number 60. That's my personal best. I got like a couple of top 100 as well. And I've been using Magnar, guys, as my main nuker. That was before the Taras Maricha released. But still, I've been using Magnar, the epic champion, you know. Some people are sleeping on him, you know, like Viking Wade, actually, I don't know if you guys know him. He's also the another content creator. His Magnar is very hard. Like, his Magnar was super great, you know. It was a 6-star, you know, like stuff like that. And I was trying to convince him, man, Magnar is amazing. And he's like, no, man, like, it's not good. I have like something else, you know, like. And yeah, obviously, there is nothing wrong about to spend the money on this game. Definitely don't get me wrong. Thankfully, you guys, so I can continue playing this game free to play. Otherwise, if every one of us become a free to play, they probably gonna shut down the server, right? If they cannot make money. Right. Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, yeah, Pilarium, of course, trying to sell the champion, but it is pretty much all the mobile game like that, guys. Like, it's not on the Pilarium, you know, like it's not because they are partner of the casino companies. I would like to say maybe you are gonna be surprised they heard me from me, but this game is very free-to-play friendly, I would like to say. Recently, you know, like especially when they first included this Empower system, I was so scared, man, because I was playing different mobile game, and there is like Empower system, like like there is an Empower system, guys, like you can make like plus 6-9 champion, you know, you can make like big yellow star, big red star, big 5 red star, you know, stuff like that. Like Empower system is going like a crazy, and there is a big difference between like no Empower champion and like plus 6-9 Empower champion. I'm glad rate only stop at the plus 4. It is kind of limited. Obviously, we also have Awakening system right now, but Awakening is not that terrible. Like even I write 2, I think. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, I have a 2 6-star Awakening champion. I actually purchased them slowly. It's a Sif and the Duchess. But it's happened. It's gonna be happen. My biggest problem is Faction Guardian. I still don't have any Faction Guardian maxed. The maximum I have is 810. Obviously, it's also not the biggest problem. I mean, it's also not boosting your stat crazy high. But the biggest pay-to-win element they recently released is, I would like to say, Mythical Champion. It's super hard to get them. I still don't have one beside the Mikage. And the another thing they are very annoying is their skill. Like, I'm personally resist main. I pretty much can resist anything on the game, but cannot resist the mythical because they have 20% ignore resistance ability on their skill. I personally find that very stupid. Like, 20% ignore resistance just from the book. Obviously, they are, besides that, they are also very strong, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I would like to say the most pay-to-win element is the mythical champion. Besides that, I definitely agree with the Gestal. This game is not marathon. I mean, it's not sprint, it's a marathon, right? So, I seen some people, like low spender or the free-to-play, asking me a question, and I'm trying to convince them, hey bro, don't rush on this game. Like, if you not spend the money, it's gonna take some time. It took me like 2 years to build my unkillable team, guys. Like, 1 key unkillable team. So yeah, it's RNG. You can get like on the like day 30. Obviously, you cannot beat the team on the day 30 anyway, but it's totally normal. This game, for end game perspective, free to play. End game perspective mean, guys, like you can get shards from every possible way, you know, including Takdim Arena Bazaar. It's still taking you like 5-6 months to get one Void Legendary Champion. So, yeah, if you not trigger your Mercy early, every year you are gonna get a 2 Void Legendary Champion. Which is, that caused another problem. Like I said, this game is more fun if you play in free to play, but it's also very painful if you pull Angar from your Void Legendary into, like, you know, you can only get like 2 times a year. Mm-hmm. That's why I always say in this game biggest problem is the balance. Especially the Void Legendary Champion. Like, Void Legendary Champion need to be stronger than others, man. Like, I don't accept excuses. It's not easy to get them. Like, mythical champion as well. You know, there's some bad mythical champion. Player need to like adjust them, man. Like, if I just start the game recently, you know, and if I pull like one bad Void Legendary champion, I will super set as a free to play, you know. Like, even consider to quit in the game, you know, because like I said, guys, 5-6 months to get one Void Lego, and it's something bad, man. Jingwon, right? For example, like, which is he got a buff.
You're muted.
Sorry, my kids are yelling in the next room over, and the mic can pick them up, so I do apologize about that, guys. Oh, we got the baby! Can we chat? Can we get an MTG Jedi stamp in the hype for the baby? Aww.
MTG, he's definitely your kid, man.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if it'll make me echoey or not, but
that's awesome.
No, you're good, brother.
For a minute and see.
You're good.
So
we are getting a little bit of feedback. All right, so I just gotta. It's coming in a little echoey from you. Give me 1 second. I can take care of that.
I was gonna say I could put my headphones back on if needed.
Yeah, either that or I can fix it from my end. That's fine. So, all right. So the next thing that I think Plarium does really well, and this is again where I'm gonna piggyback off of MTG Jedi's question, was the login champions, with the exception of the one that we just got, which, you know, some of us, including myself, have kind of jumped onto a huge, you know, train of like, she's an epic champion. They do a phenomenal job of giving us these champs that, you know, like Artak, Monkey King, that are helpful in the game everywhere, right? From arena to PvP to PvE and everywhere else for progression wise. So could they, I mean, what are your feelings on, is it as good as it's going to get? Do we feel like they could do anything else better with these? And then I'm going to say that, you know, the new login champion should probably be a mythical at around, I don't know, 130 days. And I think that's what we're going to start off with. So I'm going to throw this to Jedi, and I'm going to say, you know, are there logins great? And the mythical login, if we were to get one, how far in should it be? So I'm going to head it off to MTG Jedi first.
If we were gonna get it as a login, I mean, I would assume they would just put it all the way at the end. So I don't know that that's helpful. If they're gonna do it, I would rather see like something like Adolin, where you have that login track, and then get the mythical at the end of that, just for logging in, not as an addition to the already in place login system, but as, you know, the same type of system as the Adolin chase. Because otherwise, I don't think the point comes across the right way. It's like, yeah, you can get a mythical champion eventually, but we already think that we might be able to get one eventually. So like that doesn't do what they want it to do. And I think if they go forward with this, I think that's something that keeps people playing for a long time. You know, I got this awesome champion, I want to continue to use it, especially that bridges the gap really well in between. There's such a big gap between I have no mythical and at least I have this one, you know? And then maybe they can get Mikage and get a second one, and then maybe they can get lucky on the primal shards and get a third one, you know? So I don't know. I think they have to do it in a shorter time span so that everybody can get it. Which means that it probably won't be the S tier mythical champion that, you know, everybody wants. But as long as it's good and usable, that's the only important thing. It's mythical and it's good and usable.
I definitely agree. I think that's a solid right there. Maybe doing it as the login champion could take, you know, it probably would be closer towards the end, and that is fair. PJ, thoughts?
I think Mikage. I think they just implemented Mikage very poorly. I think Mikage is great for PvE and PvP. I just wish that they would have done the tournaments and events differently. Like, instead of having it be you have to win it, just be on the right side. And then Mikage would be the champion that everyone gets. Like,
it's not too late, Plarium. You could still do that.
Yeah, Mikage is insane. Like, she's a top tier, one of the best mythicals, and everyone gets her, like, for free. But if they would just help us get her a little bit instead of making it like whale fest to win, then we would have our like free mythical. Obviously I wouldn't mind another free mythical, but I think that was their idea, to have Mikage be it, and they just implemented it very poorly. If they did another one, then I guess it'd be like what we just saw for Aislinn, or not Aislinn, Adlin, the most recent one. It would be, I don't know, a month of logging in or something, and then we could get her. But I think it was Mikage. I think they just did it poorly.
Okay. All right, Jay, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, logging in is nice. The problem with getting a free login mythical is that mythicals are so OP. They would literally skyrocket an account. Usually that's free to play early, and it would like not help you learn the game. Like, the champion would just be carried. Like, if you get a Siphi or Duchess early on, that those champions just masturbate the whole game. Like, you literally just beat everything if you know what you're doing. So I think a mythical should be something that you work towards. Kind of like when people work towards Arbiter, they're like, yes, finally got Arbiter, I can finally go gold, something like that. I'm not saying they should open up another mission. Maybe they could, but I think it should be something where you are logging in, but you're also doing doing something in retrospect. Like, that's what I would do personally. It just makes sense for the game. Otherwise, someone gets the champion, skyrockets, they don't build anything else. 70% of the champions become like chicken to them because they don't respect them, they don't understand the game, they don't learn all of it, and then they just use the mythical. So free mythical would be nice, right? Especially get people in through, maybe they're doing new marketing, want to get people in, hey, you have a chance to get a new free mythical. That'd be really good for sponsors and stuff like that. But just throwing in the game like a Wukong, like we saw how powerful Artec changed the game, Wukong, UDK changed the game. It's just crazy. Like, if you give people free mythical, it's going to be everywhere, right, in PvP. But then at the same time, it's going to probably just scale everyone's account, and they're not going to really learn the game. And that's a big part of the game is understanding like accuracy, speeds, and all these things. So I wouldn't instantly just do login. It has to be something where you're logging in and doing other things, kind of like missions, right? But it could be something totally different, right? It doesn't have to be do these specific missions. That player doesn't really retroactive. It doesn't have to be like that. It could be something different where the player's like, do dragon a certain amount of times, or can you do solo dragon with one champion? So they're learning now how to do solo champions that can get chickens, things like that. Where it actually learned you learn late to end game stuff. So that way, this mythical, when you get there, you get that part of the game, and boom, it just gives you knowledge of certain stuff. That's what I would do as the company. But it should be, if it's gonna be login, it's gotta be super long, right? It's gotta be probably like when I got Syl and Visix, I was like, wow, can't wait. And the moment I got them, they did change my account. Back then. So that's what I would do. Something like that to add another way to enjoy the game, but at the same time you're doing something different than missions.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Oh man, yeah, good points. I guess on both sides there. I feel like Mikage was really that free mythical that kind of like dip your toe in the water with the mythical, but they did make it quite hard. I feel like a bunch of the epics were used in like previous fusions, so it was like someone you probably had, but then you fused it obviously for the fusion, so you probably didn't have a dupe for it. So yeah, they made it a little difficult, but it's also a mythical champ, so I think that they wanted to make it difficult. Yeah, it's tough that Braun doesn't have Mikage. That's kind of crazy. I mean, Braun's been playing forever.
I need Olsring. I need the accountant. It's literally just an epic I need. So.
I actually don't have that epic on my free to play either, or on my main account either. But getting it, and then there's Carnage, right? And Carnage is going to take forever. It's not, obviously a bunch of people have them already, but I mean for like people who are either free to play or whatever, like Carnage is years out. So to have something that's a little more attainable than Mikage, I think would be good. I think it's certainly something that would, as in a login, like what would it come in after you do all the fragments? I mean that's like when do you start getting the well, it's not a shard anymore. When do you start getting the immortal? So maybe after that would be if you're gonna do a login, but that's so long. That might be too much. So I think a different way to go about it. I like Jay's idea of like a mission, but make it like missions that like kind of prove you a little more end game, I guess. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm always down for more champs and getting people to get them. That doesn't matter to me, except for Armand's. I'm definitely not down with Armand's. But
oh, come on, he doesn't break the game.
But Mikage, honestly, I think is a great starter mythical champ because she's great everywhere. She's great in one form in certain places, she's great in the other form in some places, and she's amazing in both forms in PvP. So I think she was a good starter one. Maybe they should have made that more accessible. Maybe it should have been almost more of like the 30-day login. I kind of like that. I kind of like that one too. I like them all, man. I like all these ideas. You guys are great.
Okay. All right, Ken, what about you, man? I mean, you being free to play, the logins and the free champions we get have got to be pretty huge, right?
To be honest, I love this game free champion. Like, beside what was this archer boy name? Alexander?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander, he's actually Ukraine. I don't know why Pilarium, like why he's not Taras level, stuff like that. I mean, he's not that champion, to get on the early game. High. Yeah, but nobody gonna book champion for the defense down. Yeah. They can just use the War Maiden on the early game.
The problem was the investment level to get him to a full usable kit.
Yeah, exactly. I actually enjoying the current daily login champion. I disagree with you. I told you that before. As you guys see right now, literally we need to do nothing to get her 5-star. Like, I mean, we just need to use our daily resources without any extra. We can get like 5-star, and 5-star is the huge. And again, like even on the end game perspective, if you guys doesn't have a better option, obviously for the Amuse, you can use her as a healer. She can help you. You know, her A2 is the have a heal ability, so not you don't have to book that for that. So I'm okay with that because I don't have a Maricha. The other thing is, I actually think an opposite on the pay to win side. Like, have you guys ever seen global reward?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
Also, the Xena. You guys remember the Xena Battle Pass event? Like people was crying, how terrible is that? That's good for if you don't spend money. Why you want there? You want more great stuff there? I'm totally fine with that. You know, you are getting Xena, obviously. She's a great champion, you know. She's alone worth $40, by the way. And people was crying like, hey man, I spend them $40, I'm getting like nothing on the Forge Pass. That's a good, guys, you know, like Sierra, the another example. The play point champion. Like, I don't care. I don't have her, you know. I don't care. I'm not going to get her on the next 3 years, you know, stuff like that. So, I don't know what is Plarium thinking. That's definitely bad for their Tal perspective. They definitely doing wrong, but it's definitely good thing for the free-to-play guys. Like, they are giving us a great champion for the daily login, Wukong, you know. Like, it's pretty much they happen the same time, you know, they sell the Xena $40 and they give everybody Wukong for free. And let me ask you guys a question, which one you prefer?
Xena.
Wukong.
Really?
Wukong all day.
Yeah,
Wukong UDK,
If
baby.
you're doing PvP, yeah, but no, Xena's an insane champion.
I'm not saying she's a bad champion, but
she resets her skill. If you're doing PvE, she's a much better champion for PvE than the Wukong is. It depends what you're interested in, guys.
That's true.
And we're always talking about, you know, a power crap on all these champions. If a new player is gonna get a mythical champion, half decent, like you guys said, mythical champion, and towards the beginning of their raid career, they're gonna underappreciate all the other ones, all the epics, all the legendaries, and that's you creating a power crap. So
that's a fair assessment.
I don't know. I mean,
that's a fair assessment.
Speaking of the mythical, you know, you guys was saying Mikage is hard fusion. I actually was thinking worse than that, guys. Like, whenever I saw like there is a epic champion, we need to get her. Like, there's a 2 legendary and a 2 epic champion, right? I was waiting full legendary, to be honest. We are talking about mythical tier, guys.
Me too. Because of the way Plarium has been leading up to it, like, you know, year after year, always kind of, you know, we're hoping they're gonna come through and they're gonna reward the player base. And no, that's why I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was gonna be all legendary. And my Guardians are complete, all of them. I have an abundance of champions, you know what I mean? So for me, it would be like, oh, whatever. But all the players that I play with and the community, and I would feel really bad, you know? So I understand the way you're coming from with that too. And they're not even that good with champions. I mean, the beginning of the game, Krila could be useful in Clan Boss, maybe climbing up. Tatsu still, I don't even know what she's good for.
Yeah, true. I was expecting like there is some decent champion, you know, like Duchess or something like that. We need to sacrifice to get the mythical, because we're talking about mythical champion. Like, we're talking about Mikage mythical champion. Like, Mikage is one of the best mythical champion guys. Like,
huge.
Like Gestal mentioned earlier, PvP, PvE, like even end game you can use her still. You know,
absolutely.
Even Hydra, like she's crazy on Hydra, you know, like stuff like that.
Scratch just put out 2 videos, one for PvP, one for Hydra. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Granted, his gear is ridiculous.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely thankful the Plarium. I personally think Mikage fusion wasn't that hard. So obviously it's arranged. Like, if you're missing like one rare champion, maybe it's gonna take like freaking 6 months, you know. It's totally arranged. It's like a first fusion, guys. This is how was the first fusion. If you don't have the champion, the only way to get the champion, pull your shard. Yep. So, and recently Plarium, not recently, like it's been a couple of years, but Plarium also make the fusion super free-to-play friendly. Like, all you need to do, save your resources, especially your shard, and boom. Like, I can get every fusion, man. Like, there is no problem for me, you know. Which is, I am not doing every fusion. Because I know if I keep doing every fusion, then I'm gonna be out of resources one day, right? So I am like checking the fusion. If this is the bad upcoming fusion, for example, I decide to skip, man. Because like even I skip the timid fusion, you know, like I have a 2 timid right now. Like there is definitely like something wrong. Like we are getting like fusion champion more easier. I feel like from the chart. But yeah,
Okay. I do like the fact that some of these fusions, they actually will throw a curveball in there. Lana Tharl, for example, was a champion that no one was really super excited about because his kit was like, okay, this will be good in Scarab maybe, but not too bad. And obviously that has not aged well as a take because Lana Tharl is a beast of a champion. He's actually really good in Hydra if you use him there. He's great in Fire Knight and one of the keys to Fire Knight for a lot of people. I know I regretted missing him on my main, although part of the reason I missed him was because I was traveling and it was a difficult fusion too. But as far as on the login and mythical champion too, just to get on that, I think that one of the things that they could do to make free-to-play a little bit better and also help you get eventually a mythical is I do think that having it be an end goal, so in the physics area of when you're getting a champion in a login is not bad for you. Because, I mean, yes, you miss out on it for the first, 9 months of whatever playing, but if they revisit the champions they have, because you've got Yaga the Insatiable at 60 days, and he's a trap. He's 18 books for a champion that nobody should build. I mean, nobody should build that champion. He's that bad. Lordly Legionary, another champion that's just not good. The only reason that he's even usable is he's got that 3-hit, I think, A1, and if you need Fire Knights that break through the shield, okay, I guess he can be helping you, but you're better off throwing better gear on a champion that only does a 2-hitter or something like that, because his kit just doesn't help you very well. Tanix Hate Flower is not as bad, but not a particularly great champion. You take out those 3 champions and figure out a way to space either fragments for the mythical in there instead, or basically shrink down the login a bit, or maybe even put in better login champions, because we have better champions now. So if somebody said, hey, we're replacing Yaga with another poisoner that's decent. I mean, heck, they can put Juliana in there. They buffed Juliana. She actually fills what Yaga used to do. Put her in there. No one's going to complain because what are you going to say? Oh, I didn't get my free Juliana as somebody's been playing for 3 years. You've probably had 6 of them and recycled them.
Yeah, I think on that fact, what I'd like to kind of see is more of putting some of these logins that we need for the Lady Mikage fusion in, and replacing some of the trash ones like Lenotharl, or not Lenotharl, Yaga and stuff like that, like the ones
Lord
that
stuff,
Lord, I think something like that. But yeah, they're very, very valid points right there. All right, so let's go, Storm. I'll let you finish up with the question here. Login champions, are they anything you want to add on to it?
They need to change them. They do need to change them. As the game evolved, I think the login champions should be changed, whether you're starting or you've been playing. Well, you've been playing, you don't care, you got them, whatever you got. With the newer content that came out, it's a little bit harder than, we used to have. They definitely need to opt those. Tanix, I think does have a hex. I think that's one of the first champions that you could get that has a hex, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
She does some healing. She does some sort of healing, and she can
decrease speed, right?
Yeah,
I think that's that and the healing is why she can be useful. But there's champions that do it better. There are rares that do it better. So
yeah,
like I said, unfortunately, I don't know the champs.
the life of a pay-to-win player.
And also, they should recycle them a little bit. The content got harder. They should maybe look to swap them for a little bit better champs. Same thing with the token trader. Change the champs up. Switch it up for the kids.
I agree.
What about something rating level 100?
Ooh,
that'd be good.
Getting a mythical for level 100. I think that would be actually a solid one. That's a good idea.
It'd push people for that too.
Yep, you probably already have some legendaries, nice, decent epics that you could appreciate, so you could appreciate them
instead of the Sacred Shard. Yeah, I think that would be good. Actually, that's a great idea, PJ.
Because game getting harder after you reach level 100.
Yeah,
but still, that's fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we're all really quick to hype on Plarium about all the things they do wrong. And, could they be doing things a lot better for the community? Of course, right? And little by little they do it, but they do excel at a lot of these things. They do set, the bar pretty high for some of these other games to come in. And so I feel like, I'm going to give them a good job for a lot of these things that they do. So overall, Plarium, take a little more feedback. You do take some in here and there. I mean, we have a whole list here of all the other stuff that you guys could be doing better, and we could be here for another 4 hours talking about everything. But we are reaching that part of the show where I'm going to start needing shout-outs. So we're going to start with Mr. PJ first. PJ, who do you got for a shout-out for me, brother?
We got Sergeant Badshot posting his link in Twitch. He plays Raid and other games. He's really chill, good dude. Mid-game account, likes to sing and have a good time. So check him out, drop him a follow. All
right. Let's go with, whoops, I don't know what I just did there. Let's go with Gestal next.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have someone. I was going to say my man PJ. I'm a huge fan of my man PJ. Go give him a follow. I love rating him when he's on later at night and I'm getting off. Go over there, give my man a follow. He's an awesome streamer. Give my man PJ a follow, please. Go do it.
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Jedi, what you got for a shout out for me, brother?
One of my buddies over in France just started streaming, Olive. So if we could get him started off on the right foot, that'd be great. I know his personal life is a little rough right now too, so giving him a boost. He's just getting started, and I'm real excited about him beginning that journey. So
awesome. Feel free to drop his link in the Twitch. I don't have it, but definitely drop it in the Twitch, and guys, make sure you give him a follow. Let's go Jay next. What you got for a shout out, brother?
I actually have two. I've shouted this person out before. Number one is going to be Mr. Burrito Slayer. He's a YouTube streamer and does YouTube videos. He started off kind of small, but his edits are really good, and he actually takes his time and tries to make really good videos. Second one's going to be, which I couldn't believe it. I was still shocked at Plarium and the content creator, an OG of a Twitch streamer, Grim Reaper. Finally official, content creator. So shout out to him.
Both of them are now.
Yeah, both of them died, by the way. Yeah.
Who
so
else?
Shout out to Grim Reaper and Mr. Burrito Slayer.
Oh, both of them, yeah.
Yep. Congratulations to both of them coming in and joining the club. All right. Ken, what about you? What you got for a shout out, brother?
I don't have a specific one. I like to shout out you guys actually. Storm, Brant, Gestal, Jedi, PJ, the people taking their time and joining us today. We can talk some raid stuff, appreciate you guys for joining us, and I'd like to shout out all of you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Brunt, what about you, man? What you got for a shout out?
Well, I'm going to shout out two folks. First of all, Jay's been repping Carnage with his shirt, and Carnage is he's a great dude. He's one of the mods in Raid as well, and go check him out. It's Carnage with a K _ at the end of it. But Carnage is actually one of the reasons I started getting into the content creation stuff. I was in his chat, I started doing some mod stuff, and I got encouraged by a lot of those folks to actually start streaming. In fact, I couldn't talk at the time, which was actually kind of a cool story. I was using text-to-speech back when I started streaming, which was always kind of cool. So, and honestly, that shows you how great a raid community is. The community supports people that are having issues, and honestly, they support all of us. So shout out to all you guys in chat too. But the other one I'm going to drop the Twitch in chat there is 4-0. Recently, Saf actually called him out because Carnage and 4-0 figured out some stuff about Supersonic set. 4-0 is actually a pretty smart guy. He's a low-key streamer, not particularly regular, but he's a cool guy. Go check him out. He's part of the reason that this community is great, is that, a very small streamer that can get noticed by somebody or have a great idea, and folks can, listen to that sort of stuff and get exposure to new and interesting ideas and how ways to get with the account. So go check him out.
Definitely. Link is in the chat for Twitch. Make sure you guys go give him over a follow there. All right, Storm, what you got for a shout out, brother?
Oof, I didn't know this was gonna be happening, but although I'm gonna do it like Ken did. I mean, all of you guys, honestly, I watch every single one of you whenever I have a minute before going to bed. Ken, usually catch him stuff Saturday mornings when my baby wakes up and my wife still wants to have a shut eye. So along with my baby daughter, we watch Ken all the time. Really appreciate you, man. MTG all the time, man. Also, fun shark pools, everything. All of you guys too. Biggest shout out though, BLAZIN. Yes, you sir too. Appreciate you, but he doesn't stream. He doesn't do a lot, but he does a lot for everybody, and that's somebody in Storm Gaming, little cluster that we have going. His name he goes by Bob. And I think BLAZIN would also attach himself to that and shout him out for super help he does to everybody.
Agreed. Bob is actually the one that edits out all of my videos that you guys watched. He actually put together that little scene of the lore stuff. And so, yeah, huge shout out to him. So my shout
you look better than you actually are. It's always
he does. He makes me look a lot handsomer. I ordinarily don't do Botox, but he does a little injections into the videos. So my shout out's actually going to go to Baby Jedi, also known as Noah. I know he just came on stream. He just looks so adorable, so cute. And the fact that he came on was wonderful. So huge shout out to Baby Noah and MT Jedi for actually coming on the show. And remember, guys, the show is for the community, for its creators, to give them a voice. So if you're a creator out in the Raid Shadow Legends space and you want to come on and join us, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to any one of these guys and get in contact with me. Always in any YouTube video or Twitch, you will be able to find my contact info for Discord. And you're all welcome to come in and join us and talk. I never turn down anybody. I always love to hear what everybody has to say. And, because there's definitely a lot of points to everybody's, way of playing. That said, let's go with Brunt. Where can everybody come and find you, sir?
I am Brunt_cat herder, so you can find me on Twitch. I also do have a YouTube channel as well, Brunt_cat herder as well, Raid Shadow Legends. Actually, as I said, MTG is one of my a friend of, I consider him a friend in the business, but he's inspired me to do some Faction Wars stuff based on some of the stuff he did a couple years ago. So I've been doing derp through Faction Wars, and if you want to see what that is, go check it out.
Awesome. Let's go with Ken. Where can everybody find you?
FinalKenpachi on the Twitch. I'm streaming every day except Sunday, guys, at the Columbus Reset. On Sunday, I'm exclusive here. Also on the YouTube with the same name, FinalKenpachi, you guys can find me. My latest video, actually, Valmaster, one of my viewers come with this idea. And I don't know if you guys know that, but Valmaster can solo Heart Spider 10 in 30 seconds.
I saw that. I was like, I hope they don't have, they might be the next guaranteed.
No, please don't be injured. I don't. Oh no, they hurt me. Oh no, why did I say it?
Gestal, what about you, brother? Where can everybody come and find you?
Gestal Gaming on Twitch TV and on the YouTube's Gestal Gaming as well, and the website is gestal.gg.
All right. Jay, where can everybody come and find you?
Both on YouTube and Twitch, the same name is JRStar3 on twitch.tv or YouTube.
Okay. For MTG Jedi, you can find him over on YouTube and Twitch under the name MTG Jedi. Make sure you guys go give him a follow there. I'm sure most of you are already following him. And then PJ, where can everybody come and follow you, sir?
On Twitch, MXPJE, I stream pretty much twice a day on weekdays, and then we are been coming here on Sundays recently, and hopefully in the future. So yeah, I'm on Twitch, MXPJE.
All right. And Storm, where can everybody come and find you?
There's one place for now on Twitch. Only have time on Sundays right now with a 7-year-old and a 10-month-old. It's a bit tough, but Storm Gaming RSL at Twitch. On Twitch, usually do it Sundays, but a lot earlier than this. this show.
Okay.
So.
All right. And you can always find him here on the Knights of Teleria podcast, along with any of your other favorite content creators. Guys, it has been a wonderful time. Thank you all very much for joining us. We appreciate you all so much. And remember, guys, as always, be well, be safe, be good to each other, and we will catch you guys next time. Until then, see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.